visualization strategies, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's important for us to understand what is helpful whenever we are using visualization strategies in our classrooms, and what is a hindrance for strategies in our classroom. Let's take a look at this first example I have. You'll notice there's all sorts of things going on. Whenever I move my mouse, there's animation. Some really fun audio effects. There's some pictures going on. Everything moves. My information is there. Visualization is the eye candy of hypermedia application. I've got my 3 components of hypermedia: typography, screen design, and media. And then I've got some fun pictures with a bright, vibrant background. And you'll also notice that the fonts are different colors. The problems with this is that it's hard to read because everything's moving. The colors don't really pop. The pictures don't really add much need to it. They're just more of a distraction. And the noise, why it might be fun, it's again another distraction, and it doesn't really add anything to the presentation. So then I've cleaned it up for some ways for it to be better. Visualization is the eye candy of hypermedia application. That's my main focal point, so I've made it bright and vibrant. And I didn't overcrowd or clutter my screen with any extra pictures or actions or audio or anything like that. The 3 components are typography, screen design, and media. You'll notice that everything is short and sweet and to the point, and my main topics are what are being discussed. Typography. Your text should be readable and appealing. You don't want text that is hard for anyone to read, and so like the colors, it needs to be easy to see. The font should be easy to read. It should be big enough that you can read. I try to steer clear of any type of script font because a lot of times that can be more difficult to read, but you also want to make sure it's appealing to your audience so that everyone is able to read it. Screen design, the do's and don'ts. The biggest thing is don't overwhelm the reader with information. You don't want a ton of information packed on your slide or your screen because there's a lot of times they're not going to be able to get through it all, or it's going to be distracting from what you're saying. The things that you do want to do is on your screen, cover your key points. Make sure that those are your bullets that you have out there. Any other type of information, just include it in your notes that you can go over in your presentation, but leave it off of your screen. And then for your media, this includes your graphics, animations, video, and audio. A lot of times these are a lot of fun to add, and I've noticed in the classroom setting whenever my, let's say, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders are making PowerPoint presentations, they seem to completely focus on the animations and the audio of their PowerPoint presentation, so much to the point that they completely forget the purpose of why they are creating this presentation. It's important for us to remember that graphics, animations, video, and audio, they're there as extra aid, but they're not necessarily necessary to create a powerful presentation. You just want to make sure that your presentation isn't distracting from the key point. It's important to remember that sometimes less really is more.